let's start with the learning objectives for lipids. So we have, so this is a bit from objective number 2.2F. We have to start. We can describe the molecular structure of a triglyceride with reference to formation of ester bonds and relate the structure of triglycerides to their function. Then describe the structure of phospholipid and relate uh, the structure of phospholipids to their function in living organisms. Okay, so this much we have to do about lipids. So let's start with the slide then. जी बेटे. So with lipids, okay, so again beta we need to know first the major elements from which lipid is made from. So okay, just like carbohydrates beta, we have the major elements there beta, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, but ratio in this case beta, the hydrogen to oxygen ratio it is more than 2:1. Okay, so this ratio is more there. There are more hydrogens there in lipids. So or in some of the lipids, in some cases beta, it can have nitrogen and phosphorus also. Okay, but these are only a few examples there. Then one more thing about lipids, beta, they are insoluble. Okay, they won't be able to like dissolve in water. Okay, but what they do, beta, they dissolve easily in organic solvents. So this is one other property of lipids. They're insoluble in water. Now lipids, okay, are divided into complex lipids, okay, and simpler lipids. So the examples that we have to discuss are about triglycerides, okay, and phospholipids. Okay, the others we will just touch upon, but the generally we will be talking about oils and fats, okay, triglycerides over there and phospholipids. Okay, other than that, glycolipids, sphingolipids, waxes, these are all complex types of lipids. Simple may only steroid comes. Okay, now this is better what you need to remember. Complex lipids have two compounds, so it is made of alcohol and fatty acid. Both of these together make up a lipid. Okay, so it has to be alcohol plus a fatty acid. So the alcohol beta that is involved generally is glycerol. Okay, so in the complex lipid beta, the alcohol that is involved is glycerol. Okay, and this is the structure. So you can see it's a 3 carbon compound, 1, 2, 3, and then you can see it's hydroxyl group attached to each. Okay, so this is how a glycerol molecule looks like, right? So the general formula, okay, and then beta we have for the fatty acid. So fatty acid beta will have this functional group COOH. Okay, so this will be the functional group. So we are having two functional groups here. Okay, OH functional group is coming from the glycerol and C double bond O, okay, and OH beta. This carboxylic group is coming from the fatty acid, right? And this is the beta general ratio for carbon to hydrogen to oxygen of a fatty acid, right? The formula is CnH2nO2. So that is the general formula, right? So remember beta, it has glycerol and it has fatty acids. Okay then, and because your reaction or the beta reaction generally happens between the functional groups. So OH group, okay, from glycerol and carboxylate group from the fatty acid, these two will make the ester bond. Okay then, when we talk about fatty acids, beta, okay, not glycerol, we are talking about fatty acids right now. We can have saturated fatty acids and we can have unsaturated fatty acids. And for that, beta, we have to look at the bonds there. Okay. So since we have a carbon chain, so in saturated fatty acids, beta, only single bonds are present between carbon and hydrogen. Okay, you will only see single bonds there. But when it comes to unsaturated fatty acids, we can have double or even triple bonds sometimes. Okay, but these bonds will be present between carbon, right? So saturated fatty acids में carbon की जो valency है बेटा, it is like all complete. Okay, so we have hydrogen atoms there surrounding the carbon. Excuse me. Unsaturated beta, what we have it hydrogen number of hydrogen atoms is less than unsaturated. Okay, so अब क्योंकि carbon को valency complete करनी है, so we can have double bonds there or we can have triple bonds over there. Okay, this is the difference between saturated and unsaturated. And this is what we need to know beta, formation of triglycerides. Triglycerides mean beta 3. Okay, so in this case you have this glycerol molecule. You know beta it has 3 carbons, 1, 2, 3. Then look at the OH. This is the functional group, and this glycerol is attached to 3 fatty acid chains. That's the reason beta the name is triglycerides. So you can see this is fatty acid chain number 1, okay, chain number 2 and chain number 3. And then look at the reaction beta. This is the functional group OH, ठीक है, attached with carbon number 1, ठीक है, and this is the functional group attached here to the fatty acid, COOH, ठीक है. So since beta again condensation reaction will take place, so water has to remove. So what is happening in this case is OH is getting beta removed from the fatty acid carboxylate group, and H is being removed from the glycerol, right? So these will combine to form water. So in this reaction, we are getting 3 water molecules, one from each. So because you're getting a one bond here, one bond is being made here, one bond is being made here. So we get 3 water molecules, okay, after condensation. And this is how the ester bond now looks like. Okay? So this O is being shared now. So this whole thing, okay, C double bond O and this O, this all of it, beta, it actually makes this ester bond, this whole thing collectively. Okay? So these fatty, the triglycerides, beta, they have ester bonds. So it's glycerol plus fatty acids. But there are 3 fatty acids there. Is it clear, beta? Okay. Acha, for this part here, beta, sometimes they can simply write R also. Okay, it can be any molecule, but it has to be a very long chain. Okay, or generally we are talking about hydrocarbons here, because so it will mostly have carbon and hydrogen. So this can be a very long chain there. So they can simply put an R over there also. Okay, so this is how triglyceride will be formed. We need to have glycerol and 3 fatty acids. Okay, let's talk about the saturated versus the unsaturated bonds. So right now, you're looking at the fatty acid. Okay, so let's look at this part here. So saturated beta, as we discussed, saturated will have this bond. Okay, you will have carbon hydrogen. Okay, but valency of carbon is complete. Okay, so saturated beta, what you see, there is no double bond between the carbon atoms. So this is what you need to see beta. Okay, this is the functional group. It has its double bond. It's there. COOH is a functional group. But when you look at this carbon chain here, beta, there is no double bond there. So it's going to be a straight chain. Okay, so there is no double bond. When we look at the unsaturated fats, okay, so unsaturated bit are also divided into mono and polyunsaturated. Like in your syllabus, you just need to stick to the unsaturated part. Unsaturated simply means you will see, okay, a double bond between the carbon atoms. Okay, so it can be if there is only one double bond. So yes, the name implies it's monounsaturated. If they're definitely better more than one, we would call it polyunsaturated. So you just stick to unsaturated. You will be looking for double bond between the carbon atoms. So इस case में बेटा क्या होता है? We have less number of hydrogen atoms as compared to saturated. क्योंकि saturated में जो valency बेटा it's being complete here. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? There are already 2 bonds between these carbons also. ठीक है? So we have less number of hydrogen atoms. They are in an unsaturated form. So unsaturated बेटे होते हैं ना, they can actually bend because of that. ठीक है? So because of this double bond, the molecule bends. Okay, and we use a term for that. It actually, if you talk about, um, then we use the term. It actually, it shows a kink. Okay, so this molecule bends. Okay, and because the reason is that they cannot pack together, because like you have these all the hydrogen bonds sorted out. Okay, so they cannot bend, and so generally what will happen? जो unsaturated fats होते हैं, they generally remain liquid or oil at room temperatures because of this property. Okay, so they generally they would stay in this form, oil or liquid at room temperature. Okay, but when you talk about saturated fats, बेटा saturated जो होते हैं, they actually are solid. So जो animal fat होती है बेटा, it is generally solid form, so that is a saturated form. Or plant oils जो होते हैं बेटा, since they actually they stay liquid in this room temperature, so they are unsaturated. Is this clear बेटा? ठीक है, then you can look at this diagram here also. This one shows more bend here. ठीक है, यहाँ पे 2 bonds दिखाएं, तो यहाँ पे bending ज्यादा हुई है as compared to this one. Okay, so this is again MCQs में आता है, so you just need to look at the bonds there. Okay, this is one more example. So just let's go through quickly. Just go through it. Bit. So saturated fatty acid, again functional group will be at one end, and you are looking at the straight chain, carbon and all the hydrogen atoms here. Unsaturated may you will be looking at a double bond. Okay, so it shows a kink here, and then they have simply given us examples. Okay. Okay then. So we were just talking about fats and oils. They are made up of glycerol and fatty acids. We have already discussed about triglycerides. Let's see how the equation is actually represented. So R beta can be any molecule. Okay, so paper maybe if they give you something like this, so it can be any molecule, but this is the functional group we are looking at, beta alcohol. Okay, and then beta this is the functional group. Okay, they have the COOH is the functional group. Then R can be any molecule, right? So alcohol plus carbonic acid. So this carboxylic group जब attach होता है किसी चीज के साथ, it is known as carbonic acid. And here they have shown you the bond here. ठीक है, so it's COO, ठीक है, so one molecule is from the alcohol, ठीक है, and the other molecule is coming from the the fatty acid, ठीक है, so they've shown you the bond there, C double bond O and another O, ठीक है, so that becomes the ester bond, and they have given us example the same bit of glycerol plus 3 fatty acids, we will get triglyceride, ठीक है, so it can be a fat molecule or oil. Okay, so we have already done this, but just see with it. We have touched upon saturated. We have touched upon unsaturated. We have already discussed the examples also, but the saturated remains solid at room temperature. Animal fat, okay, and some of the plant fat, for example, cashew nut and peanuts. Take a few examples from plants. But unsaturated is unsaturated fatty acids. They remain liquid, normally oil, and we have already discussed that. So you can see another picture here with it, another version of the same diagram. So they've shown you the triglyceride. So glycerol, okay, and generally the longer chains are shown like this. So you must have seen like diagrams in your book also. So they would not draw the entire molecule, but they will show you like this because these are very long chains. Okay, so and here is ester bond with it. Okay. The second thing in this topic beta is the phospholipids. Okay, we have talked about phospholipids when we were talking about the cell surface membrane also. Okay, so phospholipids again beta we have the same glycerol. Okay, but in this case glycerol is attached to 2 fatty acids instead of 3. Okay, and the third molecule involved there is the phosphoric acid. So this is what is actually giving the phosphate group there. So okay, glycerol, remember the formula was it has 3 carbons. Okay, and 3 carbons beta have this OH group attached to them. Okay, so all these functional groups have to be involved there. So what happens with 2 carbons, a fatty acid chain will attach. With one of them, with a this phosphoric acid will attach. Okay, so this is how the whole bond will be made. So let's go through this part then. So generally, with a phospholipid, जब दिखाते, so this is what they have shown you, the phosphate molecule. Okay, so it can come from anything, but it can be a phosphoric acid. Okay, but only the phosphate group will be attached. So what happens because of that, beta, it actually is the charged particle. Because the phosphate attaches, so it's negative. So what happens, beta, it attracts the water molecules also. Water molecules are also, beta, you know, they're polar. So what happens, beta, since it is attracted towards water, so that is the reason when we talk about phospholipid, just the phosphate part hai, okay, this is actually beta hydrophilic. Okay, so if you recall from the cell surface membrane, we said that phospholipid heads are hydrophilic and जो fatty acid chains they are hydrophobic. So this part here, okay, because it has a negative charge to it, it will be attracted towards a positively charged water molecule. So this part here becomes hydrophilic, right? And then this is the phosphate part attached to it. So this is glycerol. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3. So to this part with it, phosphate is attached. To the other two, glycerol molecules with it, the fatty acids, 2 fatty acid chains are attached. So this is chain number 1 and chain number 2, right? And because of the fatty acids with it, they have this carboxylic group. This part would be non-polar, and they have these long hydrocarbon chains. Okay, so this part would repel water. This part would be hydrophilic. And here generally, but simplified versions are drawn like this. So phospholipid head, okay, and these fatty acid chains, which are hydrophobic. So this is the structure of phospholipid. Clear, beta? Okay. And this is another version of the same diagram. So generally, beta, okay, it's actually 3 molecules. Okay, so what they have shown you, this is glycerol. So look at the 3 carbons there. Okay, to one of them is this phosphate group attached. So you can look beta PO4, and there is a negative charge to it. Then beta, this phosphate group can be a part of any molecule. So R shows that molecule. So this is the phosphate. Because of this phosphate, actually, beta, this becomes hydrophilic. Okay, we call it as a hydrophilic head. This entire thing. So hydrophilic head is phosphate plus the glycerol, right? These two, and then beta saturate. These are, if you can look at these are the fatty acid chains. This one is saturated. Okay, but as this one beta shows a kink here, so this is a double bond. This one is unsaturated. Okay, beta. So as we say कि जो phospholipid bilayer होती है, it actually sort of moves also. Okay, so that's the reason beta, because the more number of double bonds are there beta, so that is actually beta giving it that property. Okay, otherwise वो solidify हो जाए जो cell surface membrane if we have more of these saturated bonds there. Is it clear beta? Okay, so these are just a few more examples. Okay, your course beta only talks about triglycerides and those phospholipids. So these are just a few examples of let's go through them. Just glycolipid, waxes, okay, and simple lipids. So these are a few examples. And okay, we need to know about the role of the lipids. This is important. Okay, so we know that a carbohydrate is also considered a source of energy. Likewise, lipids also are considered a source of energy, and in fact, they give more energy, twice the amount of energy as compared to carbohydrates. Okay, lipids, beta, how it is stored in our body. The storage form is it is stored in adipose tissue. Okay, so this is how lipids are stored in our body. Important roles क्या है बेटे? Lipids, they are involved in heat insulation. ठीक है, because the adipose tissue generally it is found under the skin. So what does it do? It would actually reduce the heat loss because it's a layer which is beneath the skin. So it helps reduce the heat loss. ठीक है, it gives protection also. So it allowing you, like for example, around our organs, for example, such as kidneys, we have this layer of adipose tissue there. So what does it does with it? Because of this, there is a cushioning effects layer. ठीक है, so it protects your body against certain impacts also. Okay, so it acts as a cushion against impacts, right? Then these are few more. So we talked about energy source. We have talked about insulation, protection around delicate organs. Okay, so you can see whether your kidney dikhai and you can see this outer the fat layer. Okay, so it gives the support there. Okay, then buoyancy, waterproofing, act as a structural component also. Bees use wax to construct their honeycombs. So they have shown you this honeycomb here. Plants produce scents which are mostly fatty acids or esters. Because a few functions of the lipids. Just read through them. When you're done, let me know.
I'm done.
Okay. Take it. And lastly, for lipids, we have to go through this test. This is known as emulsion test. Take it. Again, this will be done in the AS practicals, but just to get an idea, the solvent that we use is better because जो lipids होते हैं, they're generally soluble in organic compounds. So these generally better ethanol is used as a solvent. Okay, but the thing with ethanol is that it is highly flammable and we cannot use it near the naked flame. Okay, so what actually we do is these are they have given you the equipment, so you can simply while going through it, better isko pause करके just have a look at the instruments that are involved. Okay, so method simply क्या है कि we have to label the test tubes because you will be actually going for the food test. Okay, so you will be given some unknown things there to be tested. So label the test tube suitably for the foods to be tested. You are going to chop the solid food on a tile or a grind with a pestle and mortar. Then add the food to the label test tube to a depth of about 1 centimeter only. Okay, and olive oil, if you're taking it, add 2 drops. Then we are adding 3 cubic centimeter of ethanol to each test tube. ठीक है, so ethanol basically अब यही check करने के लिए करें कि emulsion अगर हो गई तो it means there is a lipid present. Then put a clean bung into each test tube, shake carefully at least 10 minutes. This will help any lipids dissolve in the ethanol. Allow time for food particles to settle. You may proceed with the ethanol when the ethanol above the food has cleared. Then use wash bottle to dispense about 3 centimeter cube of distilled water in the test tubes. Observe and note any changes in the test tube contents and record your result. So result actually would be seen something like this. If lipids are present, it will actually form a precipitate. So this precipitate we call as emulsions. It will look like this. Okay, here actually they have shown you that there is a red dye actually added to the solution. So, but you can see the droplets are actually being formed there. Okay, so this is this is actually with a dye, and you can see these droplets being formed there. So this has emulsified. Okay, and if you're not using any dye, it would look something like this. Okay, so this is how the emulsion test for lipids is done. Okay, so at least you know okay, how it looks like. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we are done with lipids. Okay, अब let's बेटा इसकी एक मैं animation आपको दिखाऊं, then we're moving on to proteins. Then.
Lipids are a group of hydrophobic biomolecules that play important roles in living organisms. While the primary function of lipids is long-term energy storage, lipids are also used for protection, insulation, and lubrication. They also act as precursors for some hormones and are a key component of cell membranes. There are 4 basic groups of lipids: These are triglycerides, phospholipids, steroids, and waxes. Although these groups differ in many respects, they all have one characteristic in common. They are all insoluble in water. You may have noticed that lipids and water do not mix. For example, notice the yellow-colored oil in the beaker of water shown here? Even if we stirred this for several minutes or even several hours, the oil would still separate out from the water. This is because lipids are hydrophobic. From Latin, the prefix hydro means water, and phobic means fear of. So when you hear that lipids are hydrophobic, this basically means that water and lipids do not mix. Let's take a closer look at the category of lipids known as triglycerides. Triglycerides include the fats and oils. Fats, such as lard and butter, are solid at room temperature and are used by animals for insulation, protection, and long-term energy storage. Oils, such as corn oil and olive oil, are liquid at room temperature and are used by plants for long-term energy storage. At the molecular level, triglycerides contain two types of subunit molecules, glycerol and fatty acids. Let's take a quick look at fatty acids. A fatty acid has three main parts: a chain of carbon and hydrogen atoms called the hydrocarbon chain, a methyl group at one end, and an acid group at the other end. Fatty acids can either be saturated or unsaturated. A fatty acid that has only single carbon-to-carbon bonds is known as a saturated fatty acid. This is because the carbon chain is saturated with all the hydrogen atoms it can hold. Unsaturated fatty acids have one to several double bonds. Double bonds result in kinks in the fatty acid chain, which affects the melting point of the fat. Animal fats have saturated fatty acids and are solid at room temperature, while vegetable oils have one or more double bonds and are liquid at room temperature. A trans fat is an example of an unsaturated fatty acid where the hydrogen atoms are on opposite sides of the double bond. Trans fats are usually formed during the production of processed foods and are also common in partially hydrogenated oils. In order to increase shelf life and melting point of the fat, excess hydrogen atoms are introduced to an unsaturated oil. This causes the formation of trans fat bonds in the fatty acid chain. Unfortunately, the consumption of trans fats has been associated with cardiovascular disease, and its use has fallen from favor. Now that you understand a little bit about fatty acids, let's zoom back out and look at how the triglyceride subunits fit together. Remember, a fatty acid is only a small part of a triglyceride. To become a triglyceride, three separate fatty acids have to bond with a glycerol molecule through the process of dehydration synthesis. Let's move on to the next category of lipids, which is phospholipids. Phospholipids are similar to triglycerides in that they contain glycerol and two fatty acids. What's different is that a phosphate group rather than a third fatty acid is attached to the third carbon of glycerol. Phospholipids are extremely important, mainly because of their unique properties in regard to water. The phosphate head of the molecule is hydrophilic, or water-loving. This means that it mixes well with water. The fatty acid tails, however, are hydrophobic, or water-hating, and do not mix well with water. Because of these unique properties, phospholipids tend to arrange themselves so that only the hydrophilic heads interact with the watery environment, and the hydrophobic tails crowd inward away from the water. This structure is the major component of plasma membranes of the cell. Steroids are the next category of lipids. Steroids are composed of 4 fused rings of carbon to which different functional groups are attached. One well-known steroid molecule is cholesterol. Cholesterol serves as a precursor for the synthesis of other steroids such as testosterone, estrogen, vitamin D, and cortisone. Cholesterol is present in plasma membranes where it stabilizes the membrane. The hormones testosterone and estrogen have small differences in their functional groups, but large differences and their effects on an organism. Waxes are the final group of lipids. Waxes are nonpolar and repel water. They're found in the protective coating on leaves and on outer surfaces of animals. Wax is produced in the ears of some animals to protect the eardrum. In addition, bees construct honeycombs from wax. Now that we've covered all 4 categories of lipids, let's do a quick recap. The 4 categories of lipids are triglycerides, phospholipids, steroids, and waxes. All lipids are insoluble in water. While the primary function of lipids is long-term energy storage, lipids are also used for a multitude of other purposes, such as protection and insulation, and as a key component of hormones and cell membranes.
Okay. Okay, beta. So learning objectives for proteins are, we have to describe the structure of an amino acid and formation of breakage of a peptide bond. Okay, explain the meaning of the terms primary structure, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structure of a protein. So, and we will also discuss about the types of bonds that are there in a protein molecule. Beta. So we have hydrogen bonds, ionic, disulfide, and hydrophobic interactions. And we have to talk about the molecular structure of hemoglobin as an example of globular protein, and collagen as an example of fibrous protein. Okay, so दोनों की एक example है, hemoglobin and collagen, and relate these structures to their functions. And in this case, they are saying importance of iron in the hemoglobin molecule should be emphasized. Okay, so we'll talk about better these alpha and beta chains as we discuss that. So let's go through proteins then. Okay, beta. So let's start with this. Okay, up for proteins, beta, they again are macromolecules. Macromolecules means beta, they are very big molecules, large molecules, and they are made up of, okay, their monomers are actually beta amino acid residues. Okay, so they are made up of amino acids, and again beta we'll be talking about 2 functional groups there. Okay, so amino acid beta generally is this. We have this central carbon, this one here. Okay, it has 2 functional groups. One is the amino group that is attached to it. Okay, that is NH2. Here they have shown you the structure formula here. So NH2 amino group. On the other side, beta, we have this functional group, which is carboxylic group. Okay, so we have 2 functional groups at each end of the central carbon. Okay, carboxylic group is C double bond O. Okay, and then OH. So this whole is a carboxylic group. Other than that, beta, the carbon also needs to have one hydrogen attached to it. Okay, we are talking about the central carbon right now. And then at the other end, it can have any side chain. So this R can be any molecule. So all of these would actually make the structure of a protein. Okay, so we have an amino group, we have a carboxylic group, we have a central carbon attached to hydrogen, and then it can be attached to any other side chain. Is it clear, Bide? This whole structure? Okay. Okay. So, okay. So basic function basically क्या है बेटा protein का? Proteins generally बेटे are made up of इसके जो building blocks हैं, we call them as amino acids or amino acids. ठीक है. The roles are generally बेटे they actually provide structural support. ठीक है. So they are the main component of body tissues such as our muscles बेटा made up of protein, skin, ligaments, hair. So basic function बेटा किसी भी protein का structural support. Other than that, when you talk in terms of enzymes, so they have these catalytic functions also, right, in the biochemical reactions. Then the signaling molecules that we have in our body, for example, our hormones, okay, and even the receptors that they get attached to, the hormones or chemicals that they get attached to receptors, they're also made up of protein. So, okay, so basic structure, functions of proteins, structural, catalytic, signaling, okay, and immunological as well. For example, the antibodies that are produced in the body in response to an immune response with it. So all antibodies that are formed are also protein in nature. Okay, so proteins have this huge role in our body. Clear with all these 4 roles? Okay. Okay, then we have already discussed this general structure. So, okay, because again, you can be asked to identify. Okay, so this is how the structure is. We have a central carbon attached to hydrogen. This is our, okay, can be any molecule, and then look at the functional group with it. One on either end. Okay, and we need this because amino acid chains that बनती है, तो this is the functional groups that are actually involved in this whole the whole reactions there. Okay. So the only difference between each is the nature of R group. This R group can be different. उसका रीजन ये है कि बेटे the amino acids because there are many but there are only 20 amino acids that have actually been like discovered so far. ठीक है, so अब ये R जो होता है can be any of these 20 molecules. ठीक है, so could be any of them, can be any hydrocarbon, can be any molecule. ठीक है, but it can be different, but उसका जो ये वाला basic structure है, it will remain the same. Functional groups will remain the same, central carbon attached to hydrogen. This will remain the same, but R जो है बेटा it can vary. Clear with this बेटे? Okay. So central carbon beta sometimes is known as the alpha carbon also. Okay then. Okay, so as we were discussing beta around 150 hai, but 20 actually beta are involved in protein synthesis. Okay. So we have these essential amino acids, okay, which actually the thing with amino acids is that beta, they cannot be synthesized within animal bodies. Okay. So these are known as essential amino acids. So we have to look for some source to get them. ठीक है, और नॉन एसेंशियल जो होते हैं दे कैन बी सिंथेसाइज्ड विद इन द एनिमल बॉडीज. ठीक है, सो यू जस्ट नीड टू एक्चुअली जस्ट नो ओके वी हैव टू टाइप्स ऑफ अमीनो एसिड्स, एसेंशियल एंड नॉन एसेंशियल. ठीक है, एंड दिस अगेन जस्ट समथिंग टू जस्ट फॉर योर नॉलेज कि वी हैव टू टाइप्स ऑफ देम विद L and D, and only L forms actually are the ones that participate in protein synthesis. So let's look at this part here. So here, what they are showing you, okay, they are showing you two amino acids which are undergoing a chemical reaction, okay, or we are actually having made a peptide chain. So see, they have shown you this is like the first amino acid. So you can see the central carbon. They have shown you the functional group here. So this is NH2 and this is COH. Okay, and here they have shown you another amino acid. So you can see here, if I can just circle मैं इसको कर लूँ, ठीक है, तो look at the bonding बेटे. So second amino acids का जो NH2 है बेटा उसका सिर्फ हाइड्रोजन और कार्बोक्सिलिक ग्रुप में से OH. These two will be involved बेटा in making the water molecule because again this is a condensation reaction. ठीक है, so one water molecule is lost and the bond, the peptide bond बेटा that is made is something like you have C double bond O which was there from this amino acid. ठीक है, and from this part H is removed. So carbon makes a bond with nitrogen and nitrogen beta already had this hydrogen attached to it. So this whole thing beta is actually the peptide bond, the one that is made there. Okay, so you can look here also. They have shown you the product there. So see beta. So these functional groups were the one that were actually involved in the reaction. Okay, so this whole thing together beta is actually this peptide bond. They're calling it a dipeptide because two amino acids are involved there. Okay, beta. Is it clear with you? Okay, so remember
Yes.
NH2 में से one hydrogen will be removed. ठीक है, और carboxylic से OH. So these two are actually better joining to make the water molecule. Right? And again, better they have just simply just shown you these are the better naturally occurring amino acids. You do not need to know the names of all. Okay, but these are actually the ones which are essential, the naturally occurring amino acids that are there. Okay. So we have talked about condensation reactions. Okay. And the bonds that are made, better we call them peptide bonds. And they have shown you another bit like view of the same equation. So just have a look. ठीक है, यहाँ पे उन्होंने आपको vertically दिखा दिया. So this is amino acid molecule number 1. This is NH2 functional group. ठीक है, and this one is the carboxylic acid. And here beta they have shown you amino acid number 2. So look at the reaction. Like simply just for understanding purpose, they are telling you okay, how it happens. So remember, beta OH goes from carboxylic, H goes from NH2 ammonia. Okay, so again, beta we can have reversible reactions. So if you are actually better different amino acids are combining to form a protein chain, okay, so that same protein chain beta can be hydrolyzed. So we can add water to it and we can again have the monomers back. Okay, so large protein protein diet that we take, okay, so that protein has to be broken down into the monomers. Okay, so that process will be hydrolysis. So it's a reversible process. Clear with this, with protein? Acha. The thing with amino acids is that beta we have different amino acids. So if you see here, beta, they have actually shown you through color coding. Okay, so this is one different amino acid. This is another different amino acid. A third one. So these actually beta joined together. So this is different than carbohydrates. Now when we were looking at polysaccharide, beta we had the same monomer. It was only glucose. Okay, and glucose monomers were getting attached to form this chain. But amino acids, beta, we have different amino acids there. Okay, so every monomer is different. So here actually they have shown you different amino acids with a joined together by a chain. Okay, so they add together. अगर खाली दो मिलते हैं बेटा, तो we call it a dipeptide. But in this case, it is actually a polypeptide because you have many of those. Okay, so this is a polypeptide. Or generally, beta, actually protein का ये होता है. We start with the primary structure, but then beta, as it gets complex, different bonds start to form between them, and it starts to fold. ठीक है, तो एक सिंगल चेन से स्टार्ट होती है एंड देन इट फोल्ड्स, सो वील सी के हाउ इट एक्चुअली हैपेंस, so it becomes a 3D shape eventually, right? So structure जो प्रोटीन का है बेटा, we divide into 4 parts. ठीक है, there is a primary structure, we have a secondary structure, a tertiary, ठीक है, and a quaternary. तो 4 structures होते हैं प्रोटीन के बेटे. ठीक है, प्राइमरी इज द बेसिक वन, जो ये जो चेन आपको नजर आ रही है, ठीक है, इज द प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर. इट्स सिंपली द अमीनो एसिड सीक्वेंस. देन वी हैव सेकेंडरी, देन टर्शियरी एंड देन क्वाटरनरी. ठीक है, सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दीज वन बाय वन. प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर सिंपली बेटे इज द नंबर एंड द अमीनो एसिड सीक्वेंस. ठीक है, बिकॉज अगेन बेटा वी नो के जो भी प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस हो रही है, डीएनए एक्चुअली बेटा लाइक जो बेसिक हमें आता है, जो क्या कहना चाहिए, जो डिक्टेट बेसिकली कर रहा है, दैट इज डीएनए. ठीक है, सो अमीनो एसिड सीक्वेंस, ठीक है, इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द नंबर एंड अमीनो एसिड सीक्वेंस. दिस इज व्हाट योर प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर एक्चुअली बेटे टॉक्स अबाउट. हर प्रोटीन का बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डिफरेंट होगा बेटे. ठीक है, सो हाउ मेनी अमीनो एसिड्स आर रिक्वायर्ड एंड व्हाट शुड बी द सीक्वेंस. ठीक है, कौन सा अमीनो एसिड पहले आना चाहिए, कौन सा बाद में, कौन सा उसके बाद में. ठीक है, सो दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट इन प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर. ठीक है, एंड ओनली अ पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड इज प्रेजेंट. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल पेप्टाइड, इन्होंने एग्जाम्पल दी हुई आपको लाइसोजाइम एंजाइम की. ठीक है, सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन ऑफ लाइसोजाइम, सो यू कैन लुक एट द प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर बेटे. सो दिस इज वन, एक चेन अमीनो एसिड की दिखाई है. ठीक है, एक ये दिखाई है, सो दे कीप ऑन जॉइनिंग टुगेदर. ठीक है, सो वी एंड अप एक्चुअली हैविंग अ चेन देयर. ठीक है, एंड दे हियर बेटे दे हैव शोन यू दीस bonds there. ठीक है, so this is a polypeptide bond, but this is the primary structure. It will only look like this बेटे. ठीक है, different sequence of amino acids joined together by condensation reaction. Is it clear बेटे for the primary structure? ठीक है, अच्छा, and here they have shown you one more structure of this. ठीक है, so we can have two types of chains. ठीक है, alpha chain and beta chain. So alpha chain जो होती है generally it is a straight chain, so the one that actually you are looking at, the first one at the top. ठीक है, और beta chain जो actually it actually like twists like this, so it can actually, so these are simply structural differences. ठीक है, but these are the primary structures बेटे. So A chain, ठीक है, and the B chain. ठीक है, then further bit we'll talk about कि इनके बीच में भी different bonds are made, so we'll talk about that afterwards. But right now bit this is the polypeptide chain that they've shown you here, A chain and B chain. ठीक है, and you can see, look at the like amino acid sequence bit. ठीक है, so it's different in both the cases. ठीक है, so this is actually bit what is decided by the DNA. ठीक है, okay, let's come to the secondary structure. Secondary structure beta, it can be like in two forms. ठीक है, so it arranges in helical shape or sheet. तो two forms में secondary structure हो सकता है. So one is beta actually known as the alpha helix, the one that you are actually looking at, this helical structure there. ठीक है, so alpha helix is one form of a secondary structure, और इसकी दूसरी form होती है बेटा, it is actually known as a beta pleated sheet, this one here. ठीक है, it actually it seems like इसमें plates and different, they keep on folding. ठीक है, तो it gives you a pattern कि बेटा they're folding. So ये जैसे ये like you can see it's going down and it's coming up, then going down, then coming up. ठीक है, so we have two different forms of secondary structure. So it can be in a helical form like this. ठीक है, and it can be like in this pleated form, ऐसे इस तरह करके folds करके इस तरह करके जा रही होगी. ठीक है, so we can have these structures there. अब ये जो secondary structure है बेटा, in this case we will have the same polypeptide chain तो होगी, the primary structure will be there. Other than that, we will also have hydrogen bonds there. ठीक है, तो जैसे जैसे structure बेटा complex होता जाएगा, the number of bondings and different types of bonds will be there also. So secondary structure में, ठीक है, these are actually बेटा maintained by the hydrogen bonds. अभी we'll see कि बेटा how these bonds actually happen. In case, in fact, if you see here in this diagram, alpha helix में, look here बेटे. So this is NH. Okay, and then you can see better, this is generally better, what happens is the first molecule and then it makes a hydrogen bond with the fifth molecule there. Okay, so you can look at the chain, it is going down. So if this is the first one, this would be the fifth one. So generally better what happens कि ये hydrogen, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे आपको नजर आ रहा है कार्बोक्सिल ग्रुप का O, तो H and O दे एक्चुअली मेक दिस हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड. सो एज दे बेटा दिस, ये इसका जो हीलिक्स बन रहा है, सो दिस इज द पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन दैट इज गोइंग अप एंड डाउन एज यू कैन सी. ठीक है, बट हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स आर बीइंग मेड हियर आल्सो. ठीक है, यू कैन सी वन हियर आल्सो, वन हियर आल्सो. सो ये जो इसका स्ट्रक्चर की जो मेंटेनेंस है बेसिकली बेटा, दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स आल्सो. ठीक है, so they give it more support there. Then you can see the same here in beta pleated beta also. So see beta, there is one hydrogen bond here, then we can see one over here, one over there. Okay, so this actually gives it support also. Are you getting it, beta? So we have two bonds right now. Polypeptide is already there, and we have hydrogen bonding also. Okay. Okay. So this one is actually a more detailed version. Okay, so as you were saying, beta, generally क्या होता है first, okay, and it makes a hydrogen bond with a like fourth after that. So if this is the first one, ठीक है, और generally क्या हो रहा है बेटा, ये दोनों functional groups के बीच में हो रहा है. This is one functional group, ठीक है, जो C double O के साथ है, और already remember बेटा water molecule has been removed. So C double bond O इधर, और जो NH remove हुआ था क्योंकि NH में से भी एक H remove हो गया था. So hydrogen bond is formed between these. So it's a bond that is formed between the जो remains functional group के रह गए थे. So you can see बेटा one here also. ठीक है? So these are, then you can see better one here also. Okay, so these are actually formed between these functional groups there. And then look at the beta pleated sheet also. So this was NH, part of a functional group. This was CO. Okay. So these are the two forms of a secondary structure: alpha helix or beta pleated sheets. Clear with it? With these two? Okay. Okay then. Tertiary structure, we are saying that it becomes more complex. Again, uska reason kya? Now we have more bonds there. So remember, polypeptide chain will be there, hydrogen bonding will be there, but now we have more bonds now. Okay, so this is a more complex version. Helical form, because with the hydrogen bonds ban rahe the, it actually have this helical form, but it bends itself to form a more compact molecule. So जैसे जैसे बेटा वो primary to secondary to tertiary, they keep on bending, fold होते रहते हैं. Overall shape is more or less similar to a globe, और generally बेटा tertiary structures के इसलिए हम globular proteins बोल रहे होते हैं. ठीक है, or the bonds that we will be looking for: peptide bond always there, it's a protein. Hydrogen bond, you know बेटा कि functional groups थे, उसके बीच में hydrogen bond होगा. We can have ionic bond and we can have disulfide bond also. ठीक है, so ionic bonds बेटा, if you look at this part here, because these are charged particles now. ठीक है, जो हमारा COO है, ठीक है, तो उसके अंदर से भी O negative है. ठीक है, and then you can see बेटा this NH3 में H positive है. So now we have these ionic bonds between these also. ठीक है, so we have ionic bonds and then they are saying disulfide bond. So disulfide bond actually बेटा जो amino acid एक होता है cysteine. ठीक है, so there must be a cysteine here, there must be a cysteine here. So two cysteines के बीच में बेटा there is always a disulfide bond made. ठीक है बेटे, so disulfide उनका इसका सल्फर और इसका सल्फर, there are two sulfurs here, so we have a disulfide bond. ठीक है, you getting it बेटे? So tertiary structures में we are looking for 4 bonds. Polypeptide will be there in every protein. Hydrogen bond will always be there बेटा because of this functional groups की वजह से. ठीक है, then we have an ionic bond. ठीक है, so this is between the charged particles. ठीक है, and then we have the disulfide bridge there. Is it clear बेटे? ठीक है, so this is actually बेटा what holds this structure together. अब जब ये folding भी हो रही है, ठीक है, so they will remain in place because of these bonds there. ठीक है, तो ये खुलेगा नहीं, ये वाला जो स्ट्रक्चर एक दफा बन गया तो इट विल नॉट ओपन, देन अनफोल्ड नहीं होगा. ठीक है, एंड हियर दे हैव शोन यू के हाउ द बॉन्डिंग इज टेकिंग प्लेस. ठीक है, so you should know हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स आर इन्वॉल्वड इन ऑल लेवल्स ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर, प्राइमरी, सेकेंडरी, टर्शियरी, क्वाटरनरी, सब में होगा. ठीक है, now this is actually what they have shown you, hydrophobic interaction between non-polar sections of the protein. ठीक है, क्योंकि प्रोटीन में बेटा वी हैव हाइड्रोफिलिक है, वाटर लिविंग, बट जब प्रोटीन बेटा फोल्ड हो जाता है तो उसका जो सेंट्रल पोर्शन होता है दैट इज हाइड्रोफोबिक. Okay, we'll talk about that also in a while, but hydrophobic interactions, they are there in the center. Okay, so they are formed between non-polar sections of the protein. Okay, here they have shown you the disulfide bond, and this is actually the strongest bond. Okay, and generally but it occurs between two cysteine amino acids, so this you have to remember बेटे. Two cysteine amino acids के बीच में disulfide bond होंगे. Okay, and again just a closer look for how type like simply for the type of bonds. So hydrogen bonding, disulfide, हाइड्रोफोबिक, और हाइड्रोफोबिक यू कैन सी बेटा ये अंदर की तरफ होते हैं. ठीक है, एंड देन वी हैव दीज आयोनिक बॉन्ड्स हियर. ठीक है. So again, beta, just for a recap, primary structures क्या simple long chains with no intramolecular bonds or interactions. ठीक है. Intramolecular means बेटा आपस में molecules में नहीं होंगे, simply the peptide chain there. Secondary will always have hydrogen bonds. ठीक है. And these actually better cause the molecule chain to either fold or coil. So remember we talked about alpha helix and beta pleated. Tertiary, may we will have hydrophilic hydrophobic interactions. ठीक है. We will have always hydrogen bonds, ionic bonds can be there, and disulfide bonds. ठीक है. और last क्या है? Quaternary is similar or same as tertiary, but it has two separate polypeptide chains interlinked. ठीक है. तो अब यहाँ quaternary में क्या होता है? One step ahead. Tertiary में we had the single same polypeptide chain थी, but now actually they were interacting with each other. ठीक है. So this was a single polypeptide chain. Quaternary में क्या होगा? We have two polypeptide chains now. ठीक है. So that is what is different in quaternary. Okay, and this one is from your book. So you can simply see with the hydrogen bonds, they form between strongly polar groups. Okay, so strongly polar generally beta is the same NH and CO, okay, and OH. So they have shown you the bonding here beta. Okay, because hydrogen beta is slightly negatively charged, hydrogen is slightly like positively charged. So we have this hydrogen bond there. Okay, here they have shown you the disulfide. So make sure beta it has to be this. Okay, this is between two cysteine molecules. Okay, these are strong covalent bonds. Okay, then ionic bond is formed between ionized amine group and ionized carboxylic groups. Okay, ionized is to look at the charges there, right? So this and they're telling also that these ionic bonds can be broken by pH changes. Okay, disulfide bonds can be broken by reducing agents. Then weak hydrophobic interactions are there between two non-polar R groups. So because we have the central carbonate is attached to R groups also. So the दूसरा part है molecule का. तो उनके बीच में भी जब bonds बन जाते हैं तो they are like non-polar. So these actually make these hydrophobic interactions here. ठीक है? So this is what will actually make the water जो भी आपका structure है protein repel by water. ठीक है? So these are the four types of bonds that we have to look for. Clear बेटे? ठीक है? अच्छा. Last is quaternary. So remember बेटा we said कि it will have ठीक है two polypeptide chains there. So this is more complex. So again बेटा tertiary के लिए हमने बात की थी कि they actually have this globular appearance. ठीक है? So what happens? Several globular molecules can combine to form a quaternary structure. So there can be 2 to 4 in one quaternary protein molecule. हम example discuss करेंगे बेटा hemoglobin की. ठीक है? So there can be 2 to 4 globular proteins in one quaternary protein molecules, and these are bound by hydrogen bonds. So let's see beta how this happens here. So the thing is beta like the examples, two examples that we have to discuss: collagen, ठीक है, and hemoglobin. Collagen जो है बेटा fibrous protein है. Fibrous protein बेटा is the one that is not soluble in water. ठीक है, और ग्लोबुलर प्रोटीन होता है इज द वन जो हीमोग्लोबिन के हम एग्जांपल डिस्कस करेंगे. दिस वन इज सॉल्युबल. ठीक है. So two types of proteins that we have to discuss. So collagen is a fibrous protein of 3 polypeptides. ठीक है. So we call it trimetric that are super coiled like a rope. So जब हम collagen discuss करेंगे तो you will look at how the structure looks like. Hemoglobin is actually a globular protein with 4 polypeptide chains and we call it tetrametric. ठीक है. So यहाँ पे उन्होंने color coding आपको करके दिखाया है. So we have 4 polypeptide chains there in a hemoglobin. ठीक है. Insulin की just for knowledge it has 2 polypeptide chains. So 2 की वजह से we call it dimeric. They're held together by disulfide bond. ठीक है. तो stick to collagen and hemoglobin जो हमारे syllabus के sample examples हैं. So let's talk about hemoglobin now. अब hemoglobin बेटा you know the property basically हमारे red blood cells में जो oxygen carrying pigment है, ठीक है, that is hemoglobin. ठीक है. It is a globular protein. And then beta you can see color coding say if you see beta we have 4 polypeptide chains there. Okay, so because of 4 polypeptide chain it gives this quaternary structure. Okay, or if you look at each one separately, but if I look at this one or the orange one separately, the green one separately, so if you look at each of them separately, but they have this globular appearance. हर एक की अपनी appearance भी it actually is a globin. Globin is a spherical appearance there. Okay, so there can be many different types of globin, but the one that are used to make hemoglobin, because we have to stick to this example better, they are known as alpha globin, okay, and beta globin. So these are the two examples that we have to remember from this here. Okay, alpha globin and beta globin, and two of the hemoglobin chains are called as alpha chains एंड ठीक है, तो अब अल्फा को इस तरह याद रखना, अल्फा चेन बेटे इज देयर फॉर द अल्फा ग्लोबिन, ठीक है, और जो बीटा ग्लोबिन है इट इज मेड फॉर बाय दिस बीटा चेन्स, ठीक है। तो आपको ये याद रखना। अब ये अल्फा ग्लोबिन जो बेटे वो नहीं है, वो जो अल्फा हेलिकल स्ट्रक्चर हमने पढ़ा था, सो दीज आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम हीमोग्लोबिन। So we have two types of globins there, alpha and beta globin. So alpha globin जो है बेटा, it has these alpha chains, ठीक है, alpha chains are actually made from these alpha globin, and जो आपकी जो beta chains है, they are made from beta globin. So this is what we have to remember बेटा. Is it clear बेटा? ठीक है? Okay then. Each polypeptide chain of hemoglobin contains a heme group. ठीक है? So polypeptide chain, it has this heme group. A group like this, which is an important permanent part of the protein molecule, but is not made of amino acids, is called a prosthetic group. So heme group की जब हम बात करें बेटा, we are talking about this. यहाँ पे आप you can see here. So they've shown you this separate structure there बेटा. So they are saying each polypeptide chain contains a heme group and it is inside there बेटे. ये इस globule के अंदर है. सही? So it is, but it is actually not made of amino acids. ठीक है? It is not made of amino acids, so it is known as a prosthetic group. ठीक है? So it will be found in each polypeptide chain. ठीक है? Then each heme group contains an iron atom. ठीक है? So if you look at this diagram here, beta, we had this heme group. So you can see one here, you can see one here. ठीक है? You can see one here. और हर heme group में there is one iron atom attached. ठीक है? So one iron here, one iron here, one iron here, one iron here. So each polypeptide chain which have a heme group contains an iron atom. ठीक है? One oxygen molecule can bind with each iron atom. So oxygen molecule की जब हम बात कर रहे हैं बेटा, तो we are talking about molecule is O2. ठीक है? So हर iron atom के साथ one oxygen molecule can attach. और iron atom की हम बात करें बेटा, तो this only this Fe. ठीक है? So it can one oxygen molecule can get attached to it. So if you talk about a complete hemoglobin molecule, you will have 4 heme groups. ठीक है? They can carry 4 oxygen molecules. And if you're talking about with 4 oxygen molecules, it means you're talking about 8 oxygen atoms because oxygen molecule is O2. ठीक है? So you have 4 iron atoms, but you have 8 oxygen atoms at one time. ठीक है? So if you look at this part here, the diagram, let me use this. See, so they have shown you this is a one this is one globular protein, this is another one, third one, and the fourth one. Okay, and then look at the chains, alpha chain and alpha chain here, and here they have shown you the beta chains. Okay, so each of them has a heme group. Each heme group has one iron atom. So we can see there with iron there in the middle, and to each of these with one oxygen molecule will be attached. ठीक है? सो एक हीमोग्लोबिन जो एक आपका मॉलिक्यूल है इसमें, तो वन टाइम पे व्हाट विल वी हैव, ठीक है, वी विल हैव 8 ऑक्सीजन एटम्स एट वन टाइम. ठीक है बेटे? So they are showing you a red blood cell right now. Clear? ठीक है? So heme group is the one actually बेटा which gives color. जो red color आ रहा है वो, that is because of the heme group, and the color changes depending on whether or not the iron atoms are combined with oxygen or not. So जब उसके साथ oxygen attached होती है बेटे, then we get this color, जो blood का color आपको red नजर आ रहा होता है. ठीक है? Because oxyhemoglobin बन जाता है. Because when oxygen is attached to this iron on the heme group, ठीक है, the molecule that is made is known as oxyhemoglobin. ठीक है? This is what gives this bright red color to the blood. और जब deoxygenated blood वापस जा रहा होता है बेटा, because oxygen definitely यहाँ से diffuse out हो चुकी है, so the color actually it seems like it has become purple. The main color is because of that oxygen getting attached to this heme group, or oxyhemoglobin is being made. Clear with that बेटा? ठीक है? So this much about the hemoglobin. But and remember बेटा, जो heme group होगा it will be in the center. ठीक है? तो वो अंदर centralized है. Here you can see the center. ठीक है? और जो बाहर का structure है बेटा, this one is hydrophilic, जो बाहर का outer structure है. ठीक है? So this is the one which will actually be stay in contact with the extracellular fluid. ठीक है? और अंदर जो heme group है बेटा, that is inside here. So this was about the hemoglobin. Let's come to the collagen. So look at this bit. Collagen is actually structural and it is a fibrous protein. So look at the structural difference between hemoglobin. Hemoglobin we said is a globular protein. Okay? So this is structure here, beta, and look at the structure for collagen. Okay, so it is a structural protein, and again, beta, it is insoluble in water. But जो collagen है, beta, it is found besides humans, it is found in other animals also. So when we talk about a collagen molecule, beta, it has 3 polypeptide chains. Okay, so you can see here also 3 polypeptide chain, and each is in the form of a helix. So you can see beta, they seem of sort of the like they're twisting. Okay, so these are the 3 polypeptide chain, and they are in the form of helix. Okay, so again अब ये भी helix है, it is not the alpha helix जो हमने बात की थी उसकी secondary structure के अंदर. ठीक है, so these are not like the alpha helix, क्योंकि वहां पे alpha helix जब हमने देखा था it was tightly उसके अंदर बिल्कुल tightly वो curves थे. If I could show you the diagram one more time. Let's have a look at this one. जो ये बेटा ये जो alpha helical structure बनता है, it has many twists there. ठीक है, but जो collagen का वो है बेटा, it is not like that. So look at this diagram again for collagen. See बेटे, ठीक है, तो ये इतना ज्यादा like इतना tightly wound नहीं होगा. So the 3 helical polypeptides are wound around each other also. That you can see better in this diagram also. ठीक है, and it forms a 3-stranded rope or a triple helix. So ये term फिर आपको use करनी है. So it forms a triple helix, and again बेटा these will be better held together by hydrogen bonds. अब इनके बीच में भी hydrogen bonds होंगे. So they are held together by hydrogen bonds, and there are some covalent bonds also. ठीक है? Okay, then almost every third amino acid in each polypeptide is a glycine. So these are important points that we need to remember for our answer में लिखोगे आप तो. Almost every third amino acid in each polypeptide is glycine. Glycine is the smallest amino acids. ठीक है? Or glycines are generally found on the inside of the strands, and its small size allows the 3 strands to lie close together and so form a tight coil. So glycine, they're saying, will be found on the inside. Okay, so it forms a tight coil. Any other amino acid would be too large. So it is because of the size of glycine. Since it is too small, it can fit in. Okay, and it is actually better. Okay, this is what allows the 3 strands to lie close together. Now, each complete 3-stranded molecule of collagen interacts with other collagen molecules also. Okay, so these strands will be there, but we will have many of these. ठीक है, so यहाँ पे तो उन्होंने सिर्फ एक आपको सिर्फ एक स्ट्रक्चर उसका दिखाया है. So each complete एक strand बेटा contains is a triple helix. It will interact with other collagen molecules also, and these molecules beta run parallel to it. And then because of that, beta covalent bonds are actually formed. Okay, so covalent bonds are formed between the R groups of amino acids laying next to each other. They cross-link, and this holds many collagen molecules side by side, forming fibrils. So अभी हम आगे diagram देखेंगे. So you'll see beta how it looks like. अच्छा, then they're saying the ends of parallel molecules are staggered. Staggered का मतलब बेटा वो इस तरह नहीं होंगे. For example, अगर एक collagen है तो ऐसा नहीं होगा दूसरा यहीं से शुरू हो रहा होगा. मे बी वो यहाँ से इधर से शुरू हो रहा हो. ठीक है, सो इनके बीच में भी यहाँ पे बॉन्ड्स बनना शुरू हो जाएंगे. ठीक है, सो जरूरी नहीं कि वो एक ही लेंथ में हो रहे हो, तो ऊपर नीचे भी हो सकते हैं. So these parallel molecules are staggered. If they were not, there would be a weak spot running right across the collagen fibril. So basically bonding उनके बीच में भी just see bit how the diagram looks like. So see बेटा, this is structure है. Diagram number C, the one that you're looking at. इसको देखो, ठीक है. So this is one collagen strand. ये एक strand है which is triple helix. ठीक है. But then you can look at the ones which are running parallel to them. ठीक है. So this is how they look like. तो इनके बीच में इस तरह करके bondings हो रही होती है. ठीक है. तो बीच में गैप्स नहीं होते. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ दे वर रनिंग बेटा बिल्कुल एग्जैक्टली जैसे ये वाला भी इधर होता तो बीच में गैप आ जाता. ठीक है, तो इस गैप को अवॉइड करने के लिए दे एक्चुअली बेटा दे रन लाइक दिस. ठीक है, एंड कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड्स देन फॉर्म बिटवीन देम. ठीक है, so these are the cross links. ठीक है, so this is just to avoid any weak area because they are the one that are giving structural support. Is it clear beta? Are you getting it? Okay, so first one beta they have shown you the helical structure. So see beta every third is a glycine. So this is glycine, then we have this glycine here. Okay, so this is the structure. Then 3 strands are shown to you here. Okay, so all 3 will form one collagen molecule, and here they have shown you many collagen molecules, okay, which lie parallel to each other. Okay, beta. And the cross links that we have are these covalent chains there. Okay, this is what gives us the strength. Is this clear, beta? Okay, and yes. Okay then. Okay, so we have talked about the structure and now beta let's talk about how the proteins can be denatured. Again, beta जब protein की denaturing होती है ना beta it actually starts unfolding. Okay, so you can have a tertiary or quaternary structure. So if the bonds that maintain the protein shapes are broken, so remember we had different types of bonds. We had hydrogen bonds, we had ionic bonds, we had disulfide bonds. Okay, so if and we had hydrophobic bonds also. So if these beta bonds are broken, the protein will stop working properly and it is denatured then. Okay, so denaturation में बेटा the uncoiling starts. So you will have the जो उसका primary structure है ना वो बन जाएगा खाली. ठीक है, तो depends upon कि किस हद तक denaturation हुई है. So it can be due to बेटा high temperatures, it can be due to very high or very low pH. ठीक है, and the third bit is a salt concentration. They can also denature a protein. ठीक है, but again but it depends upon because every protein ठीक है ठीक है has a different property. Denaturation but according to whatever is the cause of denaturation ठीक है will be different. ठीक है, so fibrous proteins they lose their structural strength. So if you think about collagen बेटे तो अगर वहां पे denaturation होगी तो उनकी strength खत्म हो जाएगी. ठीक है, if you talk about globular proteins such as hemoglobin they become insoluble and they become inactive. ठीक है, so these are the like changes that can happen. ठीक है, okay then coming to the test बेटे प्रोटीन के लिए जो हम टेस्ट करेंगे दैट इज नोन एज अ बायोरेट टेस्ट. सो दिस इज बेटा हाउ इट लुक्स लाइक. ठीक है, ये कंट्रोल है, इट्स अ नेगेटिव बायोरेट टेस्ट. और सो जनरली व्हाट हैपेंस यू ऐड 1 ml ऑफ प्रोटीन सॉल्यूशन. ठीक है, एंड देन वी ऐड दिस पोटेशियम हाइड्रोक्साइड. ठीक है, 5% solution, 1 ml of it and you mix well. ठीक है, then we add 2 drops of 1% copper sulfate and we mix it. A बायोरेट टेस्ट के अंदर बेटा हीटिंग इन्वॉल्व नहीं होती है. ठीक है, so if the protein will be present beta you get this purplish this mauve color. So this actually gives a positive test for biuret. ठीक है बेटे, so this is how the color changes for biuret test. Clear बेटे? ठीक है, and coming to the major functions of protein, structural support. So yes, you can think of the example beta collagen. उसके अलावा keratin, ठीक है, elastin, mucoprotein. So they've given us this different examples. So this is collagen beta triple helix that you are seeing. So structural support. You can think about the enzymes बेटे, so different enzymes amylase, lipase, pepsin, trypsin. ठीक है, so you can look at the structure also. We have already done the chapter for enzymes. So we saw कि बेटा tertiary structure किस तरह होता है enzymes का. ठीक है, then they can be transport protein, for example hemoglobin, protective protein, for example antibodies, fibrinogen, thrombin, contractile proteins बेटा actin. ठीक है, actin filaments, myosin filaments, they are there in our muscles also. ठीक है, storage. ठीक है, for example ovalbumin and casein, these are the storage proteins. And the proteins can be toxins also. Snake venom is a toxin, but it's protein in nature. Okay, then diphtheria a toxin. Okay, and we are done with proteins. Okay, so again a little animated video for this one, and then we'll move on to the last part, which is water.
Proteins and their structure. In this module, you will learn about proteins and their structure. It is often said that we should include protein-rich food in our diet. Proteins are present in many food items such as eggs, fish, and milk. Proteins are not just present in foods, they are also an integral part of our body. They are present in our hair, muscles, and even in hemoglobin. Proteins are formed when a large number of amino acids bond together through peptide bond. Depending upon the molecular shape of proteins, they can be classified as fibrous proteins and globular proteins. Let us study about them one by one. Fibrous proteins are formed when polypeptide chains run parallel to each other and are linked together to form fibers. The molecules of these chains at many points are held together by hydrogen and disulfide bonds. These proteins are insoluble in water. Some common examples of fibrous proteins are collagen and keratin. On the other hand, globular proteins are formed due to the folding around of polypeptide chains. This gives a spherical shape to the globular proteins. These proteins are soluble in water. Some examples of globular proteins are insulin and albumin. As you can see, the structure of proteins is quite complex. Let us study about this complex structure of proteins in detail. We can study the structure of proteins in 4 different levels, that is, primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structure of proteins. As we already know, a protein is made of a large number of amino acids. Although there are only 20 amino acids, but these amino acids link together in different sequences, giving rise to different polypeptide chains. The sequence of amino acids in a polypeptide chain of a protein is called its primary structure. If the sequence of these amino acids is changed, a new protein gets formed. Now, secondary structure of proteins refers to the manner or shape in which the polypeptide chains are arranged. The different arrangement of polypeptide chains exist due to the hydrogen bonding between the oxygen of carbonyl of one amino acid to the hydrogen of the amide group of another amino acid. The secondary structure shown right now is called alpha helix structure. As you can see in this structure, the hydrogen bonding is intermolecular that occurs between the amino acids of adjacent turns. This results in the twisting up of the structure into a right-handed spiral structure. Another type of secondary structure is formed when the polypeptide chains are stretched to the maximum extension and are then so folded that different strands lie alongside each other. This type of structure is called beta-pleated structure. The different strands are held together by intermolecular hydrogen bonding between the amino acids of 2 different strands. This structure looks similar to the pleated folds of drapery. Therefore, it is known as beta-pleated sheet structure. So, alpha helix structure and beta-pleated sheet structure represents 2 different types of secondary structures of proteins. The further folding of the secondary structure of proteins gives rise to the tertiary structure of proteins. Therefore, the tertiary structure represents the overall folding and coiling of the peptide chains. It is the tertiary structure of a protein that gives a geometric shape to the protein that can be of fibrous or globular shape. Although many proteins consist of a single polypeptide chain, there are some proteins which consist of 2 or more polypeptide chains. These polypeptide chains are referred to as the subunits. The quaternary structure is the special arrangement of these subunits with respect to each other in the protein structure. These subunits in a quaternary structure may be similar or different. So we have seen that proteins are specific in their structure. Other than this, proteins are specific in their biological activity too. The natural state in which a protein occurs is its native state, and a protein in its native state is called a native protein. A native protein is highly stable. However, if a native protein is subjected to physical or chemical changes such as temperature change or change in pH, the hydrogen bond gets disturbed, causing the shape of the protein to change. The protein unfolds and loses its biological activity. This is called denaturation of proteins. Interestingly, the primary structure of a protein remains unaltered even during denaturation. It means that the sequence of amino acids remains unchanged. When we cook an egg, the egg white gets coagulated. This is because of the denaturation of proteins present in the egg white. Let's recap. Proteins are formed when a large number of amino acids bond together through peptide bonds. Depending upon the molecular shape of proteins, they can be classified as fibrous proteins and globular proteins. The structure of proteins can be studied in 4 different levels, that are primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structure of proteins. If a native protein is subjected to physical or chemical changes, it unfolds and loses its biological activity. This is called the denaturation of protein.